Mark it down on your calendar. June 20th, 2016 is when history was made, Jason. I'm not a Wales fan. I have no allegiance. I have no ties to Wales. But who gives two flying sugars? Because Wales finished top of the group. They go through 3-0 confident victory over one of the worst teams playing at the Euros. How did Scotland not make it? I will never know. But who cares? Wales go through. English finished runner-up 3-0. Do you know why? Because they played very well. Yes!
Oh my God, just keep talking. I'm not going to even comment.
And do you know why Russia didn't play well, Jason?
Because they were rushing the ball. I was looking up the entire Russian squad, trying to find like Kokarov. I was trying to make like any kind of, like there was one guy like Shayatov. I was like, he's playing like Shayatov.
And they didn't even need a certain player to bail them out until the third goal. So, Jason, I'm delighted. Wales win 3-0.
Me too.
Goals, Aaron Ramsey. Beautiful finish off the back of the Welsh Pirlo, Joe Allen, the plumber, the carpenter.
Whoa, that might be way too high of a compliment.
No, but the
Welsh
beard. He's got the beard.
Oh, you're saying his looks-wise?
Maybe it would like.
Pirlo's a World Cup champion.
With that pass, you never know. You never know. So, Jason, I must give credit to you on the platform. Hopefully there's a bunch of people tuning in. You did put a random bet on Gareth Bale to be top goal scorer. He now has 3. He's leading.
The key word was random because I'm looking through the goal sheet and I'm like, not England, even though I predicted them to win the Euros, which is a really bad idea. Nothing against England. And I'm looking through, I wanted to be contrarian, like Thomas Mueller. It's like boring. It's like, of course he's going to probably get some goals. Like Zlatan's a fun one. But Gareth Bale had great odds, and the major reason for that was because there was a chance that Wales wouldn't go that far.
Yep.
He's probably a goal, maybe 2 away from securing that. When you look historically,
5 is a good bet.
League goal scorer is 4 to 5, 6 goals max, unless somebody goes off for like a hat trick in 30 minutes, or maybe it could be Bale.
You never. It's just unless there's a result like Chile versus Mexico. No shots fired at Mexico. I'm sorry, but unless Vargas, something like that, bangs in 4 goals, so basically secured himself.
We didn't do a clip or anything titled "Is this Mexico's tournament?" Right? Is this Wales tournament?
Yeah.
Is this Wales tournament?
So my dad, I give him full credit when credit's due. He said that Wales are a dark horse team to look out for. They now, because they finished top of the group, they now face either the 3rd place team from either Group A, C, or D. Now that's not.
What does that mean?
So it's either of those teams, whatever one's the best.
Who do they play?
So it will either be. It's unclear still because games are still going on. But according to Guardian, they reckon either Albania, Northern Ireland, and Czech Republic look the most likely.
Oh, so Wales would be favoured.
Of course they would be. Even if they come up against a tougher opponent, who's going to count against Wales, right? I didn't think they were all that impressive going forward against England. But as you see here from the scenes that erupted in Cardiff, they didn't even expect it to go that well as early on, but Aaron Ramsey, Slim Shady, put them in front, and look at the reaction here. So it was a beautiful pass from Joe Allen, and Aaron Ramsey shows the composure that I thought he was lacking against England. Takes it over the keeper, sets Wales well and truly on their way, and unsettles the already unsettled Russia, who didn't settle into this tournament whatsoever. I thought they were very lucky against England. It was just England giving them the opportunity to come back into it. I thought they've been poor throughout, and Wales just unhinged them early, and then they added a second, which was poor goalkeeping. It fell straight back out to Taylor at left back, put it in 2-0, and of course, the man who's always going to I would say step up in big moments for Wales, Gareth Bale. 3-0.
He also had a few not missed opportunities.
Beautiful runs.
Is creating off the dribble an actual term, in world football?
Yes,
it is. It's a very highly used NBA term. Gareth Ball was creating off the dribble. I like Gareth Ball. I also like Gareth Bale. He had a couple. I mean, he's fast, man. We know he's fast, but it's so different to see him playing. He plays a different role on Wales than he does on Real Madrid, and I guess that's, again, I have to look back, but I'm going to throw you a question. Is this more like what we saw in Tottenham?
Absolutely, Jason. Because, so with Real Madrid, his fundamentals are still there. He's off the dribble, he's still one of the best in the world. He can take people on because of his speed and his close control. But with Real Madrid, he does have a certain area that he has to stick to. Now, he does wander away from it because when you're that talented, you basically have the license to roam a little free. Ronaldo takes up a lot of the possession for Real Madrid. I remember there was a stat last year when Bale wasn't at his best. He's had a great season this year for Real Madrid. That Ronaldo, out of, I think, 5 out of every 10 attacks are expected to run through Ronaldo at some point. At Tottenham, Gareth Bale was always the option, the outlet, and the primary person you wanted to get the ball to. So everything went through him, and he was given the freedom, no one crowded his space that he could just move into and run with the ball. Now that is a blessing and a curse, because if you don't have as talented players around him as he does in Real Madrid, he's relied a lot on doing things himself.
Right.
There was moments in that game where there was 4 Russian players around him, but what did that do? It created an outlet for the likes of Taylor to move in behind, for Aaron Ramsey to make midfield runs, and it's dangerous when you have someone plays such a primary role as Gareth Bale to defend, focusing on him rather than focusing on everyone else, because they have players like Ramsey who can put the ball in the back of the net. So you're running a risk if you focus as an opponent, if you're focusing all your attention on Gareth Bale. So
it seems like Bale's got almost nothing to lose in this tournament. He's like, I mean, again, I put a lot of the credit on Bale. Well, again, as you mentioned, Allen was playing
really well.
And I think it was Taylor too was also playing strong.
Yeah, at the back.
At least from what I was catching during the game. All right, now on top of that, what's going on with England?
6 changes made from old boy Roy.
Didn't Vardy start?
Yeah, so I think he would listen to the criticism, but I think he went way too extreme, right? So
he's changing too much.
He's lucky because Slovakia aren't a bad team, but full credit to England, they were the better team in that game. I was watching both screens. We had Wales on Jason's side, and we had England on mine, and I was watching as much as I could from both. And from what I could see, England were the superior team. They looked. They were unlucky not to take the lead. I think Lallana's getting into good positions, and as soon as one falls for him, he will grow in confidence. So the job has been done. It wasn't done in the prettiest way that Wales did. They didn't go through with a big shining gold star, but they went through, and they go through second place. So
who do they get?
So it really depends as things move forward, but they're not going to get as easy a tie as Wales, and that's the risk you run when you drop 6 players. Now, here's my points on the decisions. Bringing in Vardy and Sturridge, absolutely great decision from Roy Hodgson. Pace there. To the goal scorers that can obviously change the game against Wales. Dropping Rooney was not wise. Wayne Rooney has been one of England's best players in the last 2 games. And whether you want to look at it or not, that Wayne Rooney's getting older, he might not make the right decision always, but he plays that deeper role and he's so composed. He has got composure in abundance in comparison to some of the more instinctive, I would say, Russia blood to the head type players that play in that role. I think that Dele Alli, maybe I was a little harsh on my criticism of the last time, but that's only because I expect so much from him. I would rather Wayne Rooney in those positions at times just because he's got a level head in those moments. But so Roy Hodgson, the one decision I couldn't understand was dropping Kyle Walker. Now, I don't think he got dropped. I think Roy Hodgson counted on the fact that they had enough strength to go forward and get at least a draw in this game. Kyle Walker was England's best player the last 2 games. I think outright, there is players that come close, but I think he was outright one of the better players. He dropped him, Klein came in, still a good player, Bertrand came in for Rose. These are decisions that I wouldn't make because defensively you don't want to unhinge. England conceded a goal against Wales from a free kick, and they conceded a poor last-minute goal against Russia. The defensive line has not been the problem. It's been grabbing goals at the other end.
Right.
Bringing in Henderson, okay, I can make my peace with that. But it was the 2 fullbacks that I thought was a very risky move.
Just on the surface, it seems like way too much change.
Yes, and that was so funny because that's what happens with football. You get criticised for not making any changes, and then it's almost like he went, all right, you have your way, here's 6 changes.
I know this might sound nearsighted, but it seems like the simple change would have been keep your back 4.
Yes.
Keep your midfield, don't drop Rooney back, and just have Sturridge and Vardy in there.
I think so.
And then play with a little more pace. And if that doesn't work out in the first half, you take them out. You weren't playing them at all in the first place.
Yeah,
so
I think that I would have came straight in with Sturridge. I would have dropped Harry Kane. I probably would have swapped out Dele Alli and had him come on and maybe just put in Henderson in there, but I wouldn't have touched, like they did put Henderson in there, sorry, but I wouldn't have touched the fullbacks. That's always a risk because I think Kyle Walker was offering a lot going forward, as was Danny Rose. And that's the risk you run when you have attacking fullbacks. Maybe he wanted to stay a little bit more retreated so that they didn't concede. But it's that I would say that it's that fear that's going to halt England's chances in this tournament. They are scared of conceding goals, and that is okay. But when you come up against better teams who have got such attacking prowess, you sit back, like Wales did against England when they were scared of them. Look what happens. All it takes is a one sniff of goal, and someone like Sturridge can put it in the back of the net. So I hope that Roy Hodgson will now find a happy medium because I want to see England at least live up to that potential and give a performance like they did in the second half against Slovakia when they were going forward. They did look exciting at times, but it didn't go through with the emphatic fashion that Wales did, but they still went through. So I can't completely criticise them because they usually drop out by now. So we'll see what happens in the next. We'll see, Jason. That's why you're my man. And there's a fail stamp in time for you.
Comment below, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff. What do you think about the Euros so far? Are you as overjoyed as us to see Wales go through to the next round? Who will they face? We await more games happening, more games finishing before we can get our final schedule. But it's exciting nonetheless. And if you're worried about us not covering enough Copa, you can take that opinion and take it elsewhere, because we just did a clip on Mexico-Chile when I was in Vegas.
Tonight too, right?
2 mimosas deep.
Tomorrow?
And then tomorrow night we have a phenomenal game with USA and Argentina, and we will be recapping that. So there you go. All soccer coverage, all day, baby.